Welcome to this episode of our program, Daily Debate. As usual, we will be discussing a contentious debate. Today we'll be shedding light on the 7th International Conference on Information Technology, Convergence and Services for People with Special Needs, or this was the theme of the conference, or the dedication of the conference. Today the conference was inaugurated by President Fattah El-Sisi, and definitely the President addressed attendance at the end of this conference, where he stated the importance in investing in the human resources of the country, and part of them is the segment of the people with special needs. He said that the human resources are the richness of the country, and when we invest in the or raise the capacity building of the Egyptian citizen, he will be able to better contribute to his society, which is the main focus of the conference today. This year is dedicated to people with special needs, and this has lots and lots of significance. Today the President spoke about how positive energy this sector of the society gives to us, and that we have to put our hands together in order to contribute to our societies all together, all segments of the society, including this particular segment. Many times the President underlined the importance of modern technology for achieving development, backing national economy, creating jobs, and improving living standards. And in particular, he spoke about the information technology and its significance in the sustainable development, the program that the country is carrying out with. Today we'll be shedding light on this and more with our distinguished guest, Dr. El-Sakka, Professor of Information Technology and Computer Engineering. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Right. Before we delve into our discussion, let's first have this quick report. President Sisi inaugurated the 7th Annual Conference on Information Technology. Let's watch the report by our correspondent Linda Abdel Latif, and we'll come back for discussion.
Sisi witnessed the inauguration of the 7th Annual ICT for People with Disabilities Conference and Exhibition that took place under the slogan Inclusion, Empowerment and Participation. The conference aims at supporting and empowering persons with disabilities through ICT tools in all areas of life.
2018, as you probably know, has been announced by His Excellency the President as the year for the people challenging disability. I don't like the word people with disability. There are people who are challenging disability, and hence we thought that ICT as an industry and Ministry of ICT has a responsibility to contribute in the President's initiative. Today's conference is about how many of these strong, wonderful people have willed to embrace the disability and challenge it with ICT. So we're going to witness lots of great experiences of how people challenging disabilities have utilized different ICT solutions to embrace and confront their disabilities. We're going to see people who are now reading currencies to identify different currencies with technology, reading medicine leaflets, knowing how to surf the internet through different solutions. Lots of various solutions that we're going to see. Smart homes for people with impairment in movement. Lots of solutions, all utilizing ICT in order to embrace and confront their challenge.
المؤتمر ده النهارده مهم جدا لذوي الاحتياجات الخاصة.
This is a very important conference for people with disabilities because it shows our capabilities and inventions. We have many great examples and we are happy that we're shedding light on them and that we are now given more attention under the leadership of President Al-Sisi. Enabling the disabled people is a main axis for the comprehensive development plan that would help create a more just society. And President Al-Sisi has been closely following up the lineup of a long-term strategy to help assess the needs of the disabled people, drawing on the international expertise in this core.
It's very honor for me to share experience of European Union and also to share what the EU is doing in Egypt to support the efforts of the government of Egypt to include people with disabilities, their empowerment. We are funding and financing some very important initiatives through our tool Horizon 2020. To create technology, assistive technology for people with disabilities. Also here in Egypt we are funding together with Ministry of Education inclusion of children so that small children can attend normal school. They are getting education as other children, and this is the future, and we will continue doing this. And I am very proud that Egypt is our strategic partner, and so that our relations are in such a good shape.
During the conference, President Al-Sisi announced the establishment of a technical center for people with disabilities, which is the first of its kind in Africa and which enables the use of assistive technology as a tool for communicating over the phone for people with hearing and communication difficulties. The President also announced the establishment of an Information Technology National Academy for people with disabilities to train and prepare them to get suitable job opportunities. During his speech, President Al-Sisi also stressed that he is looking forward to having a society where all people have equal rights and duties, adding that the success stories of the people with disabilities have given us more confidence that we are on the right track. President Al-Sisi also honored a number of people with disabilities who spoke about their success stories and how they were able to overcome the challenges facing them. The Ministry of Communication and Information Technology gives special attention to the people with disabilities, with the main aim of enriching their skills and making them active participants in the society, and as such prepare them to get the job of their needs. President Abdel NILE TV International.
Well, welcome back, and as I said at the very beginning, we'll be tackling the 7th Conference International, or ICT, the International Conference for Information Technology, and let me welcome our guest again, Dr. El-Sakka, Professor of Information Technology and Computer Engineering. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you very much. Let
me start from where this report of our colleague Linda ended, and the 3 initiatives, mainly 2 initiatives plus one profound stress from the President of portals.
Yeah, that's right.
Please.
The first initiative that he was talking about is Technological Institute. This is the first one. And then he was talking about another initiative, an academy, Technological Academy. And then how everyone are equal in rights and duties. And that's why you are going to facilitate portals for them to deal online with all the different things in the government.
Yes. Let me understand each one of them. When
we are going to talk about Technological Institute for special needs, it means it has to be designed, and the syllabus and the material for these people, it has to meet their needs. The way either for the devices which is used for training process or for teaching process, it has to be equipped with special equipment. That's number one. And as we know that there is different types of special needs, either for vision, hearing, movement, whatever. I mean, Every one of those, of course, it needs a special equipment or special to be equipped in different way. That is the first point that we are talking about. That's why it's different, a little bit different when we are talking about technological institute, generally speaking. But if it's going to meet or to deal with special needs, it has to be equipped in a different way that it will be proper for them to use it. And at the same time, we'll have to have those instructors or lecturer or whoever going to do this process. They have to be trained as well to be able to deliver this kind of technical information and learning. Yes, this is the first one. The second point, if we are talking about academic one, here there is a difference actually between institutes, technical institutes or technological institutes, and academic. In academic, we always study science, theories, like, for example, computer engineering, information technology, colleges. But once again, when we are going to talk about special needs, we'll have to take in consideration that type of special needs for each one of them or for each category or segment, and how we are going to deliver that material in a proper way. When we are talking about we are equal all in rights and duties, which is true, and we have to augment them, not them, we are all together. And actually, we cannot say special needs. The problem here for special needs, sometimes we do have a kind of disability. I use this disability for ourselves. We use it and we don't know. We don't discover it till we are going to face it. So the point here, there is no one who can say he is disabled. And what they showed today, actually, with their spirit, they showed that we are a little bit disabled. We are disabled. They have special needs, but they
are creative.
They are creative.
Yes,
they are strong-willed, strong-willed, resistance, creative, innovative, and they achieve the goals. And actually, let me comment about this one. Mr. President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi, when he talked about that, he said it's one of my beautiful or the best days that he is happy by, and it was coming. Yes, it was coming from his heart to heart, and actually from heart to heart we can understand this one, and we all, I think, who was watching this today, this opening, and we can feel how inspiring these people and how positive energy was transmitted to us as watching when we're watching this one. We have to compare ourselves and our laziness sometimes. We are not motivated in that way. And different samples, and they were honored by the president, and how they defeated and they challenged this. And that's why we keep always saying, if you would like to do something and be successful person in general, and they said that, they said the success is a choice. This, if you remember this girl that she was presenting them, she insisted upon this sentence: success is our choice. We have to choose the success. And if you would like, let me comment upon this point. If you would like to succeed, we have to have three things. Number one, passion, desire. We want to be, and actually that they have this first point. Second point, capabilities. Actually, we have all capabilities, and we are underutilizing our capabilities. I mean, either we have special needs or not. And as they say, we are using just from 7, at most 10 of our capabilities, so we have underutilization 90%. So everyone has a lot of things, a lot of capabilities, margin to use it, and that's what they did actually. The number 3, and the most important point, faith. I have to believe in success. Of course, faith in Allah and God is number 1, and the faith in success. If you believe that you will reach something, you will reach it. Never mind how many times of trials have you done. And we have many examples in our lives, our role models in that. And actually, it was very inspiring and positive energy for everyone. And I hope that we take this as a role model, not only for special needs, for us on the first place.
Yes. But if we return back to our topic, and we speak about people with special needs,
yes,
and the issue of they choose to succeed.
Yes. They choose
to succeed.
Yes.
Very much indeed. And if you talk to any person with special disability or special needs, you will find him
Yeah.
very particular in something, and he wants really
Yeah.
to prove that he is capable of overcoming his yes,
Yes.
inability. The conference today, the main theme of the conference was inclusion, empowerment, participation.
That's right. 3 different words, yes. But
Inclusion,
yes, inclusion, empowerment, and
participation.
participation.
And each term of that has its own significance. Inclusion into the society and integrating them, empowering them in the proper way, and their participation so as to enable them to be
part of
a tool contributing further to their society.
That's right.
Tell me about this. Tell me about the measures taken.
Really, these 3 words is being chosen in a very decent, smart way. If we'd like to look at these 3 magic or powerful 3 words. The first one, inclusion or integration. It means here there is no difference between what is called or who we call special needs and no special needs. We are all one community. They need to be included in everything, in our jobs. We don't deal with them as if they are a special segment. So they will have to work on this one to reach 100%. They have all the different jobs like ourselves. And we have, today, we watched some samples of those people that are working as designers, the others working with telephones and so on. We come back to this point. So integration, it has to be integrated within the community itself. By doing that, of course, we are going to make use of them, number one. It could be it's human resources, and as we know that here the most effective thing is the human resource in any community. This number one. Empowerment. We have to enable and empower those people, because if we are not going to do this with them, they won't be motivated. They will feel they are not in the right place, right time with us. So we have to empower them. Empower them by facilitating the different things that they want, that they need it, even in traffic, streets, cinema, movies, theaters, schools, everything. And we need to start with this one from now, not only when they reach a certain age. We have to start with them when they are kids. And we would like that we get more acquainted people. They know them among them, and they are working with them, they are learning with them, and everyone. This is number 3, of course, as a result of being integrated and empowered, they will be participants with us. I mean, we all participating in building and empowering and developing our country.
Very much indeed.
Yes.
But today we're speaking about information technology, and we all know that the future is with information technology. And we really need to train those youth, those people with special need who really need to be integrated into the society to be able to cope with the developments or the high technology that we are dealing with. And hence came the importance of what is the state doing in this concern in order to facilitate this process for them.
Yes. Really, there is more than one initiative and more than one area, actually. Through here, ICT, or the Ministry of Information, Communication, Technology, as you say, or MCIT, whatever. They have some departments and segments and branches working on this. And they have more than what we call it grants. And at the same time, we are participating with European Union for this kind of special needs. And we are encouraging them, and they are giving them a special training to be trainers, to be teachers, to be instructors. So the point actually is not only one side, it's 2 sides, not only to be as IT or ICT, as we say, information, communication, technology, this ICT, ICT, information, communication, technology. Consumers or users, no. We are trying to, the state is trying to make use of them as developers, as producers. And this is a very good point. And actually today they presented us with a very innovative.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, you remember.
Yes,
You see.
They presented during the ICT conference some examples of their own creations, and they were
so
beautiful. Yes.
At the beginning, when we are looking at that kind of problems, we usually say we would like just them to cope with. They would like them to be able to read, how to go in the streets, to read the traffics, and so on. No, this is not the point.
In fact, they can even create and be innovative.
They did. They could, and I would say something. Usually, if you are in need for something, you will be an innovator, and we have the common say like that. Yes, need creates innovation and the creativity. And the point that I heard today, and when I was watching, and it's a very positive point, they let them participate in the kind of development. And I remember the second guy, he was blind, and he was talking about his experience. Islam. Yes, Islam. If I do remember, I still have some memory. Yes, I'm trying to. He said that he is participating in the development programs. That's why, and he made a comment upon that, that's why the product, the final product, it suits, it copes with their needs. Because if I don't feel their needs, usually in computer engineering or information technology, what we do, we start with analysis, requirements of the user, and ask you what would you like to have. And usually there is some distortion between what you want to and our analysis to your requirements. But here they skip this one, and they abstracted, and they let them participate in this process. And that's why the products suits and cope with the actual needs they need, special needs people. And this is a very good point. So this is another scale. I mean myself here in different programs, even here, I was talking about the creativity and the innovation, pioneers initiatives. It was in November, last November, I do remember, something like this. And here we're urging people in how not to switch from being consumers, users, to be productive. Yes, because actually we cannot rely upon others' production. We have to do ourselves what we need. Unfortunately, if we are going to talk about the type of ICT that we need here for special needs, it is related in a way or another for our culture, our language, our habits, our traditions. Let me say it in a very quick way.
No, we'll speak about that because that needs more illustration. You spoke about 4 important issues that we really need to discuss them thoroughly.
Right.
Before we continue on with our discussion, let's first watch this second report and ICT, or the 7th ICT Information Technology, this report, and we'll come back for more discussions.
President Al-Sisi inaugurated the 7th Annual Conference on Information Technology, Convergence and Services. President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi inaugurated today the 7th International Conference on Information Technology, Convergence and Services for People with Special Needs. The conference comes under the auspices of President Al-Sisi on the theme of inclusion, empowerment, participation to empower people with special needs who represent 5% of the Egyptian population. President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi described the 7th Annual International Conference on Information Technology as one of the best days in his life and stressed that Egypt looks forward to a society in which citizens are equal in rights and duties, and that the Egyptian government is doing its best to create a healthy environment for people with special needs. President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi announced a number of initiatives aimed at empowering Egyptians with special needs and highlighting the state's efforts to integrating them into society. In a speech during the conference, President Al-Sisi announced the establishment of the National Academy for Information and Communication Technology for people with special needs. He stated that the academy would operate to the highest standards to train those with special needs to help them secure job opportunities. President Al-Sisi also announced the establishment of a technological institute for people with special needs, which he said would be the first of its kind in Africa. Noteworthy, the center will make use of technologies to assist those with hearing and communication disabilities, which is planned to become a regional hub. President Sisi stated that Egypt aspires to be a society whose sons are all equal in rights and duties, and that there is no means to accomplish this except through using technology as a pathway to help reach a realistic, applicable model. The President also announced an initiative which would provide easy access to government online portals. The President also said that the state's efforts to support people with special needs come under the plan whereby Egypt seeks to build the Egyptian person, and added that the state is working on integrating people with special needs into its national strategy on sustainable development. In conclusion, President Sisi thanked people with special needs for the messages of hope they deliver to everyone through their abilities to overcome hardships and turn them into points of strength, and designated 2018 as the Year of People with Special Needs.
Welcome back. And back to you, Dr. Saeed, and we were speaking about the most important moral issues
Yes.
to enable those particular segments of the society to further contribute. And we spoke about the culture and the traditions and the language,
The language,
and
yes,
the way to deal with those segments in the society, those people with special needs. That doesn't mean that they cannot really contribute, but rather they can very much.
Definitely.
But the culture of the society, the traditions, and how they deal with those people.
The mental picture. Yes. Actually, as you know, that the different background and culture from one community to another, it affects, the way of seeing and perceiving things. So generally speaking, I mean, if you are going from community A to community B, and here, according to our customs, traditions, beliefs, language, or our history, all that kind of things, it affects our way.
Definitely, one word can encourage or discourage.
Yes, that's right. If we misunderstand the world itself, here it could give us miscommunication, as we say.
Indeed.
Yes, and here we are talking about ICT, information, communication, technology.
Yes.
So it includes inside the communication, and there is body language, there is many things. Yes, this is the details of that. Here in our community, I mean for our segment of special needs, we need to concentrate our particularities here, our speciality here, that we have something which could be accepted for some society and couldn't be accepted here. And the main point that I'd like to concentrate upon, which is very sensitive, actually, two things here. Number one, our beliefs, our religions, our customs, how we deal with different issues, as you know, here in our society. So we have to take care of that. We cannot import some solutions, complete solutions from abroad or from foreign language. We have to have it here, customized, and suits our culture tradition. The main point with language itself, that we are speaking an Arabic language, not everyone have a foreign language we can understand.
Yes.
Yes, and most solutions, or if it is not all, it will be in foreign language. And we need this simple guy or person with a special need. For example, if he cannot see, and we'll give him a scanner, like one of these applications, to read, for example, the prescription of a doctor, or to read the pamphlet of medicine, as it was showed here. It cannot tell us this in English. He doesn't know English. It has to be in Arabic. It should be using the words with avoiding sensitive words. So I would like to come to the conclusion that we need to do our devices, our communication, our information technology. But are we going, the question which would be raised, are we going to reinvent the wheel? No, we are not going to reinvent the wheel. We have to start with where they have reached, but we'll have to think international and apply local. And this is the main formula that we always use. We have to think in an international way to make use of the advanced technology over there, and then apply this, adapt this, customize this according to what you have said, thankfully, here about the tradition, religion, and everything, and the Arabic. And we still have a very good opportunity. I mean, here in Egypt, in particular, as an Arab country, that we have here pioneers working in ICT. I mean, generally speaking. So it will reflect the economic. It will be a good double-fold, not only to satisfy this segment, and as we just said, how to integrate and all what we have just mentioned. No, we can make money as well. It will be a very good potential for us. And I remember one of those young people that they talked today, the young man, he was talking about two opportunities. No one actually commented upon. He was talking about the first opportunity of it, AI, artificial intelligence, and how it is promising. And I agree with him, you see. And at the same time, he was talking about how to find a child. And he means that we have to start with the child to go, starting from home, school, university, life, all that with special needs. This is a very high potential, good opportunities for us. We will develop ourselves, find opportunities for people, our creative, innovative people. At the same time, the cost benefit of this one, we are not going to pay, you are going to gain in this case. Because actually we master and we grasp the language and the habits and all that kind of things. At least we are going to spread that kind of things for the Arab world here, as we always keep saying these words.
When the President spoke today, he spoke about aspiration of a society whose sons are all equal in rights and duties, and that there is no mean to accomplish this except through using technology as a pathway, I'm just quoting the President here, to help us reach a realistic, applicable model. How can, I mean, we are around now 104 million people.
That's it. Yes.
And part of our society is people with special needs. And when we speak about this segment, we are not speaking about a small number, but rather it is a big number, as the European Union Commissioner today said, worldwide 80 million people.
80 million, and said about 15% usually. This is the figure that he said about
Yes, exactly.
And they mentioned here it's about 8 million, and then said 5 million. Anyway, even if it is 5 million.
So, this segment has rights and has duties.
That's right.
If we speak about his rights, then we're speaking about including him, the inclusion of him, empowering him, making him participate, and all this we covered. When we speak about his duties, and when we speak of him as an Egyptian entity that has to contribute to his own society, from your point of view, how is this important for him and for his society at the same time?
It's a very decent, smart question, actually. Here for him, actually, here we said his rights. And his duties as well, it's a kind of right. If we let him work and pay back and participate and pay efforts, actually he is gaining as well. He's feeling himself. He's doing what we call it self-actualization and realization. This is the highest motivation for anyone. So here, his duties, he has to work, he has to learn, he has to participate, especially in this segment, because he is the most appropriate person that he can participate in that kind of things. Not only as a user and consumer, as we mentioned before, but we want him to be as a developer. And we watch it today, a sample of those people that they are working as developers, either for this segment or non-segment. I mean for all of them. So this is the rights and duties for them. If they have to have the same rights as anyone, in all this population, 104 millions. At the same time, we have to deal with him as one of the others. We don't distinguish, no distinction, no discrimination. Even psychologically, we don't want him to feel that we are dealing him in a special way. When talking about ICT, or the technology of communication and information, actually it will facilitate that thing. And you remember the couple of days when they were talking about the 6th conference for youth, and here we have the control authority, the minister Mohammed Arfan, when he was talking about the database that they started, and really I'm proud of that. And
yes,
and would be,
it was very successful.
Yes, very successful. And really, they are absolutely right. Let me affirm and confirm that, because I personally, I start working in this maybe 20 years ago, and whenever we start working, I mean through CAPMAS, and then it doesn't go, you know, it stops. But that's very good, because it's very complicated and sophisticated, interrelated with each other. So we congratulate them, and we here say salute for them. This is for building up, yes, the database, or the complete and integrated database, which would be used from another perspective for control and for corruption, you know, how to deal with corruption and different things. At the same time, as Mr. President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi, when he commented upon that, he said, okay, you were concentrating upon how we are going to protect ourselves. You didn't say for taxation and for collecting money and so on. You didn't say what kind of services that we are going to get. But actually, they gave another example that about 27 families, they found this through the database and through that type of programs.
Yes.
I mean, with this one, yes, apply the same concept and principle for the special segment of special needs, that we can find them, we can give them a hand, we can support, empower, integrate them, and let them participate. That is the technology that they are going to do that.
Indeed. Indeed. Unfortunately, our time of this segment has ended, but I really had great time discussing such an important topic, and a very cheerful one. Very near to the heart topic
yes,
that we're speaking about.
Really.
Dr. Saeed El-Sakka, Professor of Information Technology and Computer Engineering, we thank you very much for being with us and for your input.
Thank you. You are most welcome. I enjoyed talking with you and having this opportunity. Thank you for having me once again, and I hope we can carry on later on for the same subject or similar ones. Thanks a lot.
The pleasure is all ours, sir.
Yes.
And